Well, when the Olympics started, of course, you knew some of the faces of the games, particularly the famous ones like Simone Biles, Kaylee Ledecky. Boy, what a performance she had, by the way, and Noah Lyles.
But what we didn't have on our 2024 Olympics bingo card, perhaps, two men known for rapping about fighting the power. Gin and Juice, becoming America's uncles for the games. But here we are. Our producer, Jeremy, loves this story, and he just finds this very funny. But you have seen Snoop Dogg. I mean, he's like
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, like being the ambassadors.
I got my Snoop Dogs on today.
Those are your Snoop
These
Dogs.
my Snoop Dogs. Brand new, first time I wore them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's hilarious. It's great.
Well, it's hilarious, but they're also, particularly Snoop Dogg, because he's in front of the camera more. There's a genuineness. We talked about authenticity, and we talk a lot of times about sort of not trying to be what you were, but being who you are now. I think that's what you get.
He
with
grew
Snoop
up.
Dogg. He grew up.
To a point.
Reinvention or maturing? What do you think it is?
Well, you know, and again, obviously we're all looking at him on television, so we don't know, although he's done some reality shows, I don't know that it's a reinvention. I mean, yes, I guess it kind of is with the Martha Stewart thing that he did, but he also grew up and he went from being who he was as a young man to who he is as an older guy. And there's still, obviously, there's parts there, but it's more, I was telling him, it's more refined. You know, he's swimming in the pool with Michael Phelps and he can't swim. That's hysterical. That's absolutely hysterical. And also though, you know, they show him being very supportive of the families and all. How great is that? This is Snoop Dogg.
It is fun. And there's a lot of celebrities who are there, by the way. It's not just him, but he was carrying the torch there, so he certainly got a lot of attention.
But it's amazing, you know, how mainstream you'll get to when they start flashing some cash in front of your face.
Well, that has something to do with it.
Because, you know, I mean, let's face it, rap music obviously has changed a lot over the last 10 or 15 years.
Oh, no doubt.
And, I mean, there's nothing to see a rapper now have a top 5 record, you know, as soon as it comes out, so Snoop Dogg's doing it. I will say this, though. I think social media has played such a huge part in what's going on here because it doesn't matter what you're into, and I always talk about these, like there's like divorced women who have basset hounds who love to bowl Facebook groups. And all of a sudden you got 100,000 people in this group that love to bowl that have basset hounds that are divorced, right? So I think at any time you have a group, you can create, so Snoop Dogg was a small little part, he really was. And then all of a sudden he started to grow and grow and grow. And now all of a sudden, because of social media and the control that has, he has a huge following. And because of that huge following, a lot of places like Corona are willing to spend money with him.
I think the personal lesson here, whether it's him or some others, you know, you're talking about a guy who was acquitted of murder. He's had his share of legal troubles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But certainly since then, redeveloped himself and he's made himself a lovable character.
Well, and I think, you know, again, we can debate about whether it's authentic or not, but I can tell you, like, psychologically, and we've all experienced it, when people are kind of living in their skin, when they are authentic, you get that feeling from them. And sure, there's great actors and actresses who might be able to fake it, but I think that's part of what's drawing us to Snoop Dogg is there is an authenticity about it. And people, when people feel that there's not that authenticity, they tend to stand back. And I think that's part of what you're getting with Snoop
We
Dogg.
love people who can be who they want to be. Charles Barkley being Charles. He can say whatever he wants, and we're going to love him for it. And that's why another reason why people love Snoop Dogg and Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav playing water polo.
Flavor Flav playing
Did you
water
ever think
polo.
you'd see that?
No, and that's, I mean, I think that is the great, that is the great.
We got to get him on a horse. We got to get him on a horse.
All right, well, go USA. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.